At 1.1 FM and AM 1160. Two gentlemen across from me are Mark Bertig and Dick Clawson. Marcus and Mack, a law firm representing injured people, bringing us all of our interview segments here on Indiana in the Morning. And Dick and Mark are here to talk about the Western Regional PA Youth Legion Baseball Tournament that is coming up this weekend. Indiana County hosting it again. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
It's good to have you both with us. Dick, this is, I don't know how many times Indiana County has hosted the Western Regional and the state tournament, but combined, that's an awful lot of effort by an awful lot of people, and you must do it well.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a lot of fun, and I can tell you in my letter in the program, this is the 11th time that Homer City has hosted the state championships. Indiana hosted the state championships twice, and they did the regionals twice. And Homer City has done the regionals at least 12 or 13 times.
15.
Okay.
Man. It's just amazing to me the amount of work that goes into it. And for people who have not seen behind the scenes as I have, Mark, it's a lot of dedicated volunteers who make a very special thing happen for these kids.
Just amazing. We have a core group that have cared for First Commonwealth Bank Field for a number of years. They were there all day yesterday until about 11 o'clock at night. They just edged the back edge of the infield. Just looks beautiful. People wouldn't notice that from the stands, but it's important to them to do those little things to make the playing surface look as sharp as it can be. And specifically, I'm talking about the field superintendent, Don Mester. Bill Rankin is just an animal down there. Jason Rado, who coaches the Legion team, has really rolled up his sleeves the last couple of years and helped out. Dave Caruso even came out of retirement yesterday. They called me and said, guess who's here helping out? Denny Mester. So it's been that core group and myself that have grown that facility back to when we started dreaming it in the late 1980s. So it's kind of a labor of love, and the Coral Grayston Fire Department were there last night and put 3 loads of water on the outfield even after the rain we had. Homer City Volunteer Firemen will be watering tonight for us, Coral Grayston again tomorrow, and Friday morning I think they're going to flip a coin. So we try to keep the grass green with this dry weather. It's important for the safety of the players. But Todd, they just don't do this kind of thing, but I have to send a big thank you to our presenting sponsor, American Legion Post 493. John Mester, Greg Fletcher, all the guys. Did I say Don Mester? John Mester, that's Don's brother.
You said John.
Did I say John? Mm-hmm. When you're up midnight working on programs, it all runs together. But the American Legion Post 493, they have been with us through all of these tournaments, providing financial help. People don't understand how much it costs to put on a state tournament in particular. Mm-hmm. We have to house the teams, feed the teams. They also step up and provide meals for all of the out-of-town teams. Thousands of dollars they've committed through the years, and they will present the 2022 regional and state championship tournaments as our presenting sponsor, and we thank them for all of the fine work. I think Dick would concur. American Legion in Pennsylvania and across the country, they encourage their posts to get involved with youth baseball. And boy, Homer City has stepped up to the plate, no pun intended.
Absolutely, and it's one of the goals of the American Legion to have the posts support them financially. A lot of them have their own ball fields, and they have activity committees and baseball chairmen at the local posts.
Yeah, it's just an amazing effort that goes into it. And the overriding goal is to make this an experience for these young men that are going to come in and represent teams from all over Pennsylvania. And it's just hard to estimate the impact it's had on all these young lives.
Sure. And you look at the interviews they do with the Major League Baseball players that started in the Legion program. Mm-hmm. Very rarely do you see them mention any of the other established programs, but the Legion program.
Case in point, in the program book, Todd, there's a Q&A I did Sunday with new IUP head coach Steve Klein, mm-hmm. who was in the big leagues for 11 years, I believe, and enjoyed some great success with the St. Louis Cardinals. And the headline says, "From American Legion Baseball to the big leagues."
Yeah.
And he said American Legion Baseball, he owes a lot to American Legion Baseball. And so it's great. I think there are issues with travel ball cutting into community teams. I'm not a fan of it. I don't think kids practice anymore. I think practice is where you get better. Perfect practice makes perfect. And these kids are just playing. Young kids are playing too many games, not enough practice, if any, and it's stunting their development. There's no question in my mind.
Yeah.
And it's hurting organized baseball and the community-based teams, whether it's American Legion, Babe Ruth leagues, whatever. Steve Klein actually addresses that in that article.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, when you do get to these tournament level things, though, and we've got the Western Regional happening in Homer City and at Indiana's White Township Field for Friday action, and then all the action shifts to First Commonwealth Bank Field for the rest of the regional. Dick, this is a high caliber of baseball.
You're going to see the best in the West and the best of the East when you come to the state championships. That's right. These kids have been playing 18, 20, 22 games to get here. Mm-hmm. We have 65 teams out East and 36 teams in the West vying for the two tournaments out East and the one tournament here to come to the final 8 to come to Homer City for the state championship.
Yeah. It always amazes me to watch these young men who come in because you're talking about a kid who is just getting his first Youth Legion action, and he might be 5'2" and or 4'8" and weighs 68 pounds, and there's a kid that's 2 years older than him that is 6'1" and goes about 200 and throws it about a zillion miles an hour. But that little guy's going to stand right in there in that batter's box. He's going to take his cuts.
Absolutely. Like you say, it's a good thing to see. And we have some teams from out East that are coming back again, as well as the teams from the West that were in the state championships last year. And some of the younger kids are pumped up. They know it. They've been through it once, and they're really excited to come to it again.
Yeah. So for all of these years, both of you gentlemen have been involved in Youth Legion Baseball for a number of years and in a number of different capacities. Dick, as the guy running the tournament, you know how special a moment it is for these guys, but you know the amount of work that goes into making it such a special occasion. What is it about Youth Legion Baseball that appeals so much to you that you want to be as involved as you are?
Well, I like the discipline. I like the fact that everybody has to dress alike. It's not a ragtag group of pickup kids. The recruiting areas is defined. You can't pick an all-star team, and the coaches are really dedicated. A great majority of the coaches are not daddy coaches. Their kids have grown up.
Yeah.
And the restrictions they put on as far as the rules, I think it's a military organization. So a lot of it just rolls down from being these old World War II, Korean War guys, veterans. It's part of the way they do things.
Yeah, and it's really cool to watch these teams as they come together because, as you say, these are guys that have been young men that have been playing together for all their lives, and here they are on this stage. Mark, it does become a big stage for them, especially when they get themselves on things like Arenda Digital TV, when they're on the radio. All of these things, it becomes a great event in their lives.
No question, and back to the community-based teams. These are the future high school players too, so they play Little League together. They play Legion ball together. They ultimately, if they make the grade, play high school ball together. So, yeah, and I think the job we've done in Homer City with some of the extras that maybe we provide, we try to provide a big league atmosphere at an amateur-based facility. So. We've gotten a lot of comments through the years that people love coming to Homer City and playing there. Some of us are getting older, so we're going to use White Township a little bit more this year and shorten our days a little bit. But I've heard particularly from some Erie coaches that some of the teams up there are featuring a couple of outstanding pitchers. So pitching, is usually the name of the game. So I'll be curious, as a baseball fan and a baseball junkie and a Legion baseball junkie all these years, I always like to see, as you put it, how they perform on that big stage and just throw strikes, baby, shorten the games.
That's what we're all hoping happens because you love to see guys that'll swing the stick at it and watch these guys play baseball. Baseball's not a sport that is universally played like it was when we were kids, Dick. It takes a special kid to do this.
It does, not at all. It's been real tough to. We're seeing a decrease in the number of teams, and what are these boys doing now? Are they playing golf, lacrosse? I don't know. It's a tough situation to cover. But go on what Mark said. Every year I offer the opportunity to host a regional in the West, and I could play on 5 turf fields up in Erie. They want to come down and play in Homer City.
Yeah.
They don't want it. They're going to spend 3 nights in the hotels here in town and eat here. They do not want to stay up there, and they would rather come down and play on this excellent field that we have.
You know, that's a big point you make there, too. It's an economic driver here for Indiana County. The number of people that come here for that tournament and the monies that they spend here, that's not a small part of this whole equation.
Exactly right. And we tell the people to jump on it and go to where we've got good restaurants and people are sponsoring in the program book.
Absolutely.
Speaking of, I guess, the economics of it, I mentioned American Legion Post 493. There's some other major sponsors that help us out. And immediately when you were talking about that, the Indiana County Center for Economic Operations, they're one of our Grand Slam sponsors. So that helps us tremendously with paying umpires and all of the extra expenses that go with the field prep and everything. Also, IRMC. They're what we call our volunteer work crew sponsor, and they all get shirts, so they get some. You don't get one, Dick. You haven't qualified.
Work, right?
You have to work.
Okay.
Got to make a blister on your hand.
And right down the street, the Ruskini Group's our 3rd Grand Slam sponsor, and Indiana Moose has stepped up. They're also very good in the Indiana community. I think they go under the radar a little bit, but Steve Kelly's been a good friend for many years, retired from Gazette Printer, so I worked with him on the program book, and Steve and all of the guys there called me and said, hey, we have good news for you. We want to support the tournament, and they're helping us out.
Absolutely. All right, action gets underway tomorrow, actually Friday, I should say, both at First Commonwealth Bank Field and at the White Township Recreation Complex. You can follow the action on our sports reports. We'll have it all for you, all of the teams that are involved. Just a couple of moments left, gentlemen, but we're really looking forward to what will be a special weekend.
Friday through Monday. And
Yes,
then
sir.
We'll do it all over again for the states. Shortened this year by a day, Todd. It'll be Saturday, July 30th through Tuesday, August 2nd. Again, pool play. So SW Jack, for the hometown fans, they'll be under the lights Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the regionals.
Guys, thanks so much.
Thank you, Todd.
Thank you very much. I
Indiana
appreciate
in the
it.
morning. It's WCCS. Guys, the next time